Hello friends, I am just going to teach you JavaScript. JavaScript is very demanded language in today's market, and it is the core language for web development, and it is very important language for web development. Who just want to make their career in web development, or who want to learn web development, they must have to know JavaScript. Okay, so without JavaScript, you cannot be a web developer. So you have to skilled in JavaScript to become a full stack web developer, or simply a web developer should know JavaScript at least is in average skill. Okay, so I'll be glad to you teach this JavaScript course, and this course is completely free. And JavaScript is very much demanded language in today. Okay, so this is the main core language for web development. So in web development, we have basic language are HTML, and then CSS and JavaScript. Okay. So from the basic part, I will discuss about what is whoever just joined this JavaScript session. If you have knowledge of HTML and CSS, that will be the very good point for you, because you can understand JavaScript well if you have prior experience of HTML or prior knowledge of HTML and CSS. Okay, so to start JavaScript, I will just make a introduction about HTML and CSS, and why JavaScript. What is the role of JavaScript in web development? JavaScript. First, I will discuss about HTML. So, what is HTML? HTML actually creates the structure of a web page. Okay, so whenever you are going to develop a website or web application, whatever it is, your front end, whatever user can see, that called for front end, right? So your front end must be designed with the HTML code. Okay. HTML code basically make the structure of your website, and CSS formats that structure in a good looking way. Okay, so we shape it in beautiful look using the CSS, styling it into the CSS. Okay, so CSS basically makes a website good looking. And why JavaScript? So JavaScript actually makes the website interactive and event oriented. Okay, I am repeating again. JavaScript actually makes a website interactive and event driven, I can say event driven to the user. Okay, and what is the event, what is the interactive, I'll explain one by one, don't worry. So basic role of JavaScript is to make your website interactive and dynamic, and interactive, dynamic, and what I told earlier is that is um, okay, it can be interactive and dynamic. Okay, and it can control the behavior of a website. Okay, so So finally, I am just explaining what is JavaScript. JavaScript is an object-oriented scripting language, and JavaScript is an interpreted language. So which means that it does not need any pre-compilation. Okay. So JavaScript is used to perform big task by small script. Okay. Whenever you are going to develop a website, maybe some big task you can make by the JavaScript, or you can handle a big event driven logic using the JavaScript for that website. Okay. And it is used to make the interactivity of the web page, as I said earlier, or HTML document. So to make the web page interactive to the user, and to control the behavior of the web page, JavaScript is used, right? So why JavaScript is necessary, you have understood well, I think. Okay, fine. Now I'll discuss about how JavaScript runs in where JavaScript runs and how it is executes. Okay, your JavaScript is automatically running when you opens your web browser, right? So JavaScript runs in the web browser. Okay. So JavaScript plays an important role to change a static website into dynamic website. Okay. And JavaScript is invented by programmer of Netscape Corporation. The programmer name is Brendan Each, and its official name was ECMAScript. Okay. So now you have might have a question in mind that is Java and JavaScript same? No, Java and JavaScript are not same. Okay, Java is a complex programming language which is basically used to develop game, or for mobile or desktop application, and JavaScript is developed by Sun Microsystems. Okay, and it's a complex programming language. Whereas I told earlier, JavaScript is a scripting language, and it is an object-oriented scripting language. Okay, and it adds interactivity and dynamic behavior to the web page. Okay, fine. Now I'll discuss about what JavaScript can do. Okay, so what the means by JavaScript, what we can do. So I'm writing here what JavaScript can do. Okay, so JavaScript can respond to user events and perform the necessary actions. Okay, so JavaScript can respond to the user events and performs necessary actions. Okay, number two is JavaScript can read, write, and change HTML element. Okay, so JavaScript can read, write, and change HTML element. Okay, number three is JavaScript validate user inputs. Okay, so JavaScript validates user inputs. And number four it adds animation to the web page. So JavaScript add animation to the web page. Okay, and JavaScript can do more than that. We'll come to know later what JavaScript else do in this tutorial session. We'll see, and I'm just writing more than more, uh, many more. Okay, so these are the rules or of JavaScript, and by the by JavaScript we can do all these things. Okay, now JavaScript, where to write JavaScript code. Okay, so JavaScript code can be written in any code editor like Notepad plus plus or Sublime Text or VS Code or brackets. Those are free code editors, right? So but you can use Notepad plus plus in the beginning if you are just starting learning JavaScript, because Notepad plus plus is very easy to use, and it has also many features. So where to write JavaScript? JavaScript can be written, JavaScript code can be written in Notepad plus 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 plus. Okay, so we'll use Notepad plus plus to write our JavaScript code, right? Fine. Now where to place JavaScript code inside the script, inside the web page. So every JavaScript code must be written inside the script tag. Okay, so in the script tag, that is script tag. Okay, so script. Okay, and this is the start script tag and this is the end script tag. So each and every JavaScript code or statements can be written, have to be written inside the script tag. Okay, fine. Now JavaScript can written in two ways. Okay, we'll now see in what are these two ways to write the JavaScript. So it is the internal JavaScript and one is internal JavaScript, internal JavaScript, and number two is external JavaScript. So internal JavaScript is written in the head section, okay, or body section. It can be written also. And external JavaScript, for external JavaScript, we have to make a separate file with .js extension, and inside that file we have to write our JavaScript code, right? So I'm repeating again, internal JavaScript we have to write inside the head section of our HTML code or inside the body section in our HTML code. And external JavaScript we have to write in a external file. So for that we have to create an external file with name, with the extension with some name and with extension .js. .js stands for JavaScript, and inside that file we have to write our external JavaScript code. So whenever you are writing the internal JavaScript code, it is very easy to incorporate in your HTML code, like right. I am just going to an example. for internal JavaScript. Okay, so my web page code has starting using HTML. Okay, so who don't know HTML and CSS, at least to understand JavaScript you have to know HTML and CSS, as I told at the beginning of the session. So I'll suggest them to understand HTML and CSS well, and then you just watch the JavaScript course, this tutorial session, so that they can understand well. Okay, so I have to write here a HTML code block. So my HTML code block is starting with HTML tag, and it will be ending with slash HTML tag. Okay, now I have to write head, and I have to close head, and to write body, and close the body section. Okay, so you can write JavaScript code inside your head section here with the script tag. Okay, script slash script. Okay, and I'll write here a JavaScript code or statement alert. This is internal JavaScript. Okay, and the same code I can write in the body part, inside the body section. Okay, so either you can write inside the head section, or you can write inside the body section, but not two times the same code you have to write. Okay, so I'm just omitting here right now, and I'll see our work is my code is working or not. Okay, so I'll save it as in my a folder. That is JavaScript tutorial. Okay, dot html. Okay, or I can name it index.html. Okay, but before that I'll move this part of HTML code in another file, so that our note is there in that file. Okay, so yes, now I'll save it as home.html. Okay, so now this alert will prompt the message, this message, okay, on the window. Okay, now I will run this file in Firefox. Okay, see here, this is internal JavaScript, so it is displaying this dialog message. Okay, so now it proves that my JavaScript code is working. Okay, Fine. Okay. Now I'll move to my notepad plus plus. Yes. Now I'll cut it and I'll paste inside the body section. Okay. Now see, I'll just change here something. This is internal JavaScript part. Okay. And I'm saving this. I'll run it in the Firefox. See, this is internal JavaScript part. So our JavaScript program is running fine, successful. Okay. Okay, fine. Now I'll okay, I'll keep it here. And okay, now I'll discuss about some uh, now I'll discuss about a simple function in the JavaScript. Okay. So in the JavaScript, I can write function. Okay, this function is a sequence of some statements, JavaScript statements, right? So I'll show you how to write a function and how to call that function. Okay. Now I'll write this function. So I'll keep this part inside the head, and since I'll write a function, I'll remove this alert message, and I'll take some space inside the script tags, and here I will write my function. So the definition is function name, my function, and I have to give this start and end bracket, and I have to use this curly braces and end the curly braces, and inside that I have to write my code of the function. Okay, so I'll write here alert. This is written inside the function. Okay, I just put this message inside the alert, and I'll call it inside the body. Okay, so how I can call it? So I can call it using an HTML event. So for to add that event, I have to uh, take here an HTML element. Let's say it is input type button. Okay, so I'm writing here on click equal to, and I have to put my function name with the start and end bracket inside this code. Okay, and for input I'll write value equal to click to see message. Okay, now I am saving this. Now if I run this web page, I'll see a button, input button. Okay, that button will show like a click to see the message on the button. It will show this text will be shown, and when I click over the button, it will call the my function, because on click is an event. Okay, and whenever I will click that button, it will call the my function here, and it will display this message which is written inside the alert. Okay, so let's say will it happen or not. I am just saving this, and I'll run it from Firefox. Here I get my button, click to see message. I am just clicked it. See here, this is written inside the function. Okay, so my function is executed successfully. Fine. Okay, that's very good. Okay, now, so how we can write HTML alert? I mean JavaScript alert message. How I can write function inside yeah, for a JavaScript, for inside the JavaScript, and how I can call the function for HTML event. You have understand all by this example, right? Okay, so uh, so this is this is the very much useful JavaScript. Is like many uses of JavaScript like this. So this is the one type of use, and I'll show you how many types of usage of JavaScript in later session. Okay, so now I'll come to the notepad in my note section, and I'll show you how I can comment in JavaScript. So comment is very important. I'll discuss about the comment in JavaScript. So comment is very much important whenever you are writing code, because you can understand later for which purpose you have written that code, and if some code you have written extra, you can just comment it out so that it cannot be executed. Okay, so comment is used basically in two purposes. First of all, to tag the code so that you can understand what this code is doing, for that purpose number one. And purpose number two is you just disable some code from your script. Okay, so that that part of code not executed. Okay, whenever you are running the web page. Okay, so for single line, single. Okay, single line comment is added by double slash. Okay, and multiple line comments. We can give multiple line comments like this: start slash, start with slash and then asterisk, and at the end asterisk and slash. Okay, this is the multiple line comments. Now I'll check here for single line comment and multiple line comments. Now I'll add a JavaScript statement again. This statement, and I'll make it a comment. So to make a single line comment, I have to use double slash. Okay, so in front of your JavaScript statement, you have to write double slash, right? Now, see, if I run this code, you are not getting that message, okay? Which is by default I have set. Just whatever the button click message, it will call the function and it will show the message as I shown earlier. Just this message, this is the written inside the function. Okay, so so this is treated as a comment. Okay, and if it is multiple lines, so I have to write, or let's say here this comment, I can write here multiple lines. Just I am just copying the same line again. Okay, so for multiple lines you have to write like this, comment like this, and save it. I'll just refresh the page. I'm not getting any message. Just I'll whenever I click, it is coming from the function. Okay, so understand single line comment and the multiple line comments, right? Okay, I am just removing this part. Okay, so I have already discussed many topics on JavaScript. What is JavaScript, and what is the benefit of using JavaScript for developing web page, and JavaScript is different from the Java language. Okay, and how JavaScript, what JavaScript can do, what that tasks JavaScript can do, and how I can write the JavaScript. So how many types of JavaScript are there, and how to add JavaScript code inside a web page. How many ways I can add JavaScript code inside the web page. Okay, and I have shown you a sample JavaScript program, and also I have shown how to write function uh, in a JavaScript and how to call a function. Okay, inside your JavaScript program and in your web page. So till that, that's all for this session. If you like my video, just give me a like, and subscribe my channel, and I'll upload the next part of this tutorial session. I'll discuss, I'll move ahead of next topics on that session. Just today's session, this is all for today's session. And if you like my video and you understand it well, just give a like, or you can comment below the video in the description section, so that I can understand, are you understanding well from my tutorial session or not. And if somewhere you not maybe not understand, you just write in that comment, in the comment, so that I can discuss it again on the later series or later next video of this JavaScript tutorial session. Okay. So and also don't forget to subscribe my channel. If you subscribe my channel, you will get the notification for my next video whenever uploaded. Okay. And you can watch out for your learning. Okay. And you will and this is if you like my way of teaching, and you can just comment, and how much you are liking my way of teaching, how much easy it is, and is it really I am teaching very with very simple way, or how you means how you can understand that. And you can comment whatever you feel this about this tutorial video. Okay. And I'll just reply on your comment. I'll check, of course I'll check your comment, because your comment is so valuable. And if you just give your comment, so I will make sure that you watched my video. And can I'll go to upload my I will go to upload my next video. Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much for watching my video, and keep watching my video. And whenever watch my video, just watch from the first to the complete, till it is complete, so that you don't miss anything. Any part of the video is important, so to learn something new, any part of the video is important. Okay. So thank you very much for watching, and just like my video and subscribe my channel. And if you have any comment about my video, you just write down below the video. That's all. Thank you.